This is part 3 of how to deal with discouragement from Nehemiah, the builder of the wall in Israel. So they're up to this point, and the people are exaggerating that these surprise attacks, that they're going to get us. At this point, Nehemiah quickly steps in. It's interesting that at this point, he doesn't start yelling at the people and calling them lazy or criticizing them or complaining about them. You know, this would have only driven the discouragement even deeper. So he understands that even the best of us can get discouraged. And I'm just being real with you in these videos. I get discouraged too. I had to fight it today. I want you to fight it. So even the best can get discouraged. So he comes up with a plan that is both practical and involves everyone. And that deals everyone. And he is going to deal with that worst case scenario. So he communicates confidence to them. He says, we can do it. We can do it together with God's help. He says, remember the Lord? He's great. He's awesome. So remember God. And then you know how else he motivates them? He says, fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your homes. So whatever you're discouraged about, you need to get going. Remember the Lord. And how is this going to impact the other people you love, your family, your kids? How are they going to be impacted if you give in to fear and discouragement? So stop thinking just about how tired you are and how discouraged you are, and start looking at the long-range picture, the long-range project. God's character, he gave them, and a powerful motivation. And if they couldn't be motivated for themselves, he appeals for them to impact the lives of their home, their families, and their future. Oh, I'm so glad that Nehemiah didn't lose heart. He had a lot of unplanned interruptions. He could have said, oh, look, God, when I agreed to do this, I didn't think it would also include this and this and this, etc. He just dealt with each problem that arose as it arose, and he kept his vision in sight. He also affirmed his faith in God as a priority when each obstacle arose. And then he came up with unique solutions that were both fair and practical. And the last thing I have to share with you in Nehemiah 19 through 20, it is highly significant, first of all, that Nehemiah trusted in God first. But he also called the people to work together and fight as a team. So when you get discouraged, you need a team to help you get undiscouraged and encouraged. Teamwork can lessen the impact of fear and discouragement because of the whole is impacted, not just you. And so the nobles and the common men were all treated equally, and they were all considered equal. And they were all said, if somebody needs help, go fight and help them. They would need each other. They didn't just need Nehemiah to help them build the wall. They needed God, but they needed each other. Nehemiah couldn't have possibly met all their needs. He couldn't have built the wall on his own, but as a whole, they could minister to each other collectively, and they could build the wall together. Nehemiah had built a spiritual wall around the Jews long before they finished the physical wall around Jerusalem. And only teamwork would result in the wall being complete, and in such a short period of time. So teamwork, and you know what? The last one is tenacity. The final stage of beating discouragement is just unveiled tenacity. It's the ability to just not quit. I got discouraged today, and I am not going to quit. This is where so many people lose the victory. over to fear, discouragement, and ridicule. We're just too easily hurt. We're just too easy to quit. We're soft. We're selfish. And too often we're unwilling to work as part of a team. And the failure to work together is costly. It was fear that caused Peter to curse Jesus before the cross. It was discouragement that caused the disciples to hide out at home day after day. It was ridicule and being in wrong to the crowd that got Pilate to condemn Jesus. It was isolation that caused Elijah to complain to God that he was tired and afraid, and after such a great victory with all the prophets of Baal. And it was anger that caused Jonah to have one whale of a trial, and a bitter spirit that robbed him of the joy of one of the greatest spiritual revivals in history. And King Saul, he got tired of doing what was right, and he became a bitter quitter. Don't become a bitter quitter. Now, I won't lie to you. You have to have tenacity, and it's not easy. In your walk with God, or whatever you're doing, your business, your family, your marriage, it won't be easy. But if the people building the wall had quit, it would not have been finished. And if they had not built the wall, they would have been finished. Their tenacity with faith and courage won the day. So have a team. Have tenacity, because anything done for God, anything done for good, for your family, your marriage, your kids, your business, it will face conflicts. And many conflicts can be demoralizing, or they can be a time of dynamic growth. And that's what I'm praying today, that this time of discouragement, I'm fighting this discouragement. It's successful because of the twofold process. I'm going to trust in God's power, and I'm going to have total, genuine participation on my part. The victory over discouragement and fears I will have, and you can have too. The psalmist cried out in Psalm 27, I would have despaired unless I had believed I would see God in the land of the living. So don't despair. And Joshua, another one of my favorite men who did not despair, he said, I have not commanded you. Have I not commanded you? God said to Joshua, be strong and courageous. Do not tremble or be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So don't be discouraged. Be strong. Be courageous. Don't tremble. Don't be dismayed. The Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And if you want to be on my team, I'll be there to encourage you. Well, that's the end of part 3. God bless.